Namaskar. Welcome to one more episode of What Does This Data Say? Finally, the elections in the 5 states are over. The results are out. Someone is very happy, someone is happy, and someone is sulking. And the government will be there in a few days, maybe today, tomorrow, the swearing-ins will happen. So now the time has come to look beyond the win and loss situation. Now the time has come to start probing further into the data. And all I can tell you this is that once you start looking at the data, there are many surprises which it springs up. In this episode, I am first going to very quickly go over the 5 states results, and then we will look at the nationwide assembly seats. How many seats does the BJP have and where is it heading for once the election in the remaining states happen before the 2024 general election. Thereafter, I will use the same methodology which I have used in the state assemblies, using the same arithmetic and the same sentiment as of today, and map it on to the Lok Sabha election of 2024. And then we see that if the things continue the same way, then where will BJP land up in the 2024 general election? And that's where the surprises become even bigger. So stay with me as we try to understand the data behind this elections. So let's first look at the summary of the results of the 5 states. I'm sure you must have seen the results umpteen times, but just to recap and refresh your memories, I will go through it. Goa, there were 40 seats, 21 needed for majority. The BJP won 20 seats, just halfway mark. It was up by 7 seats. The Congress did very badly. It got 11 seats and was down by 2. AAP managed to open an account in Goa this time. The alliance of BJP and the Maharashtrawaddi Gomantak Party and Independence is 24, and they are all set to make a government in Goa. Next is Uttaranchal, 70 seats. BJP got 47, but they are forming the government, but they are down by 10 seats compared to the last election in the state. Congress did little better than last time. They are 19 seats. They are up by 8 seats. Then we come to Punjab, 117 seats. AAP here has swept the polls. 92 seats they got. They are up by 72 seats at the expense of Congress, which is down by 59 seats. Shiromani Dal down by 12 seats, and BJP is down by 1 seat. Today, the day I am recording, Bhagwant Mann is all set to become the Chief Minister. Manipur, BJP has won 32 seats. It has done very well. It is up by 11, and it will form a government with NPP and LJP together. They have 39 seats, and they are all set to form this government. Congress lost miserably. They are down by 23 seats. Now coming to UP, the biggest state of all, BJP has won the election, no doubt, but they are down by 57 seats. SP has done remarkably well. They are up by 64 seats, winning 111 seats. The only thing I like to point out here is BSP, which had a 14% vote share in this election, managed to get only 1 seat. And as people say, that was the main cause of SP getting a lower than expected number of seats in UP. However, the NDA together, which is BJP and Apna Dal and Nishad Party together, they have 273 seats. There are also people saying that AIMIM has spoiled the party for SP, but AIMIM got less than 0.5% of the vote, and most of their candidates have lost the deposit. So now if we total up all these 5 states, how do the results look like? Now here is the graph which I have made. BJP in these 5 states won 356 seats. They are down by 50 seats from the last election in these states. Congress won 55, they are down by 85. AAP won 94 seats in this election, they are up by 74. And SP won 111, they are up by 64. As I said, BSP is a major loser along with Congress and BJP, and all these 3 losers the benefited the other parties like AAP and SP. Others, which means other parties and independents, are up by 15 seats. They are presently having 73 seats. Part 2 now. Now we look at the state legislative assemblies and we take the total sum of all the seats in the country and then try to analyze where each party stands as on date. So if we sum up all the seats, there are 4034 seats, which excludes the 87 seats of Jammu Kashmir, because currently the assembly has been suspended there. BJP today has 1365 seats with a percentage of 33.8. Congress is at second position with 701 seats and a seat percentage of 17.4. Third is Trinamool Congress with 233, then comes AAP 156, DMK 131, SP 114, and so on. So these are the top states, and the remaining independents are 76, which constitute 1.9% of the seats, and the remaining so many parties, around 40-50 parties, all have together 941 seats, which is 23.3% of seat share. Now, with a countrywide seat share of only 34%, BJP is in power in 19 states. Now, why is that? That is because they have alliances with very small parties in each state that enables them to capture the power. The other parties, even if you add their vote share, which is around 65%, they are in power only in 10 states because they do not have a reliable alliance. Now that was about the individual party's seat share. Mind you, I am not talking of vote share, I am talking of seat share. Now if we look at the political groups like NDA and the UPA, NDA today has 1805 seats out of 4034, and if we add its 2 major non-NDA partners, which is the JDU and the BJD, then together they have 1963 seats, which is around 49% of the seat share. On the other side, the opposition parties led by Congress, all put together, have 1494 seats out of 4034, which is 37%, and the remaining constitute, which is the independents and the other parties, a 14% seat share. So non-BJP parties and the others constitute a 51% seat share. However, these independents and the other parties here may be supporting BJP, or they may be supporting the UPA. There is something I would like to point out. Over the last 1 month, BJP has been going down in terms of number of seats in the assemblies. A month ago, BJP was close to 1450 seats, and it has now, after the UP election, has come down to 1365. 50 less is from UP. The others have contributed from all the other by-elections which have been happening, where slowly BJP has been losing seats here and there. So that was the seat share of NDA and its allies and others in the state assemblies as on date. We now go over and look at those states which are going to go to polls before the 2024 elections. Now here is the list of those 12 states. Chhattisgarh is going to go to poll, Gujarat, Himachal, Karnataka, etc. And I have put here Jammu and Kashmir also because it is highly likely that the delimitation will be over and J&K will also go to polls. Now in these states, if we take BJP's current situation, seats, they together have 552, whereas NDA, that is BJP plus its allies, have 671 seats, which is a 47% seat share, and the remaining parties, which are the opposition, have a 53% seat share. However, BJP and NDA is in power in 8 of these states and J&K is yet to announce the verdict. So again it's the same story. With a lesser seat share, BJP still manages to be in power in 8 out of the 11 states. Now a few of my friends and I, we got together and then said, okay, let us try to predict what will happen, what will be the outcome in these 12 states once the elections are over. Now mind you, this is all a conjecture and it is a guesswork, it is not an opinion poll, and so you can take this with a pinch of salt. So here is the list of 12 states, and this column here in orange is the revised seat position after the elections are over, and the green arrow here means that we feel that there will be an increase for the NDA, and red means there will be a decrease, and yellow means that we just leave it as it is today. So if we do this exercise, we feel Chhattisgarh, the NDA will do better, Gujarat it will do better. This is primarily because of a weak Congress which will not be able to stand up to BJP and its allies this time around. Himachal, there may be some chance of the opposition to do better. Karnataka, NDA will do better. Madhya Pradesh, it will do better, just for the same reason which I just now told you. Meghalaya, maybe Trinamool Congress may step in, it might do better. Mizoram, Nagaland and Tripura, we leave it alone. It will continue as a BJP ruled state along with its allies. Rajasthan also is slated to do better for the NDA. Same thing in Telangana, where the BJP has started to become more active. We expect that NDA will again do better. So if we just total this up, and you can do this exercise yourself, we think that from 671 seats which the NDA has today, they will go up to 857. So from 47% seat share, they are slated to go very close to 60, and the remaining parties, their seat share will come down to 40%. So here is the summary. In March 2022, NDA had 1963 seats, UPA 2071, and the total were 4034. In March 24, we expect NDA to go up to 2149 and the opposition to come down to 1972. Total seats 4121. It includes J&K. Part 3 now. We use the same methodology and the same sentiment and the same logic and try to see how our parliament seats will get affected. So let's look at the Lok Sabha. So first I will give some background of the 2019 general elections just to refresh your memories. I'll now talk of the vote share here. NDA got 43.64% of votes, UPA 25.02, others around 25, left 2.5%, independents 2.68, Nota 1.06, and that makes it 100%. So NDA got 43% of the vote share. Now if you look at the individual parties, out of the 43, 37.3% votes came from the BJP alone. Congress was little less than 20, and then the other parties. Now here you will see that the parties which are on the top of the list are all those strong regional players. Each one is coming from one state. Trinamool from West Bengal, Samajwadi Party from UP, YSR from Andhra, DMK from Tamil Nadu, Shiv Sena from Maharashtra, Telugu Desam from again Andhra, and so on. 16 top parties account for 86% of the vote share. So now again me and my friend sat and we did some conjecture, some guesswork for the coming 2024 elections, and we tried to predict what will happen in each of the major states. Again, this is no opinion poll, it is only a few of us friends who sat down and made this table. And I would like to add, yes, we know that people vote very differently in the state election and very differently in the general elections. However, we still went ahead and did this exercise. Now, since there are many states, I am going to show this in the next 4 slides so that the table appears bigger on your screen and you are able to see the numbers better. So the first 4 states are UP, Gujarat, MP, Maharashtra and West Bengal. The number of seats which BJP has is given in the orange color, and these are the total seats, and that's the seat percentage which they have as on date. And in the blue bar here in the row is the likely seats which they will get in 2024. Now in UP, even though the Samajwadi Party has done well this time, we still expect it will not make a significant dent when it comes to the MP's election. So from 62 out of 80, BJP may come down by a few seats. And also remember, Mayawati last time had 18 MPs from UP, and probably if she acts the way she has acted in the assembly elections, then it will be very difficult to beat the BJP in UP. Gujarat, we expect the same results. They will do 100% because there is hardly any opposition. Madhya Pradesh also, Congress does not exist anymore. They will retain almost all the seats, so we have left it alone. Maharashtra, they may go down. BJP may get lesser seats this time if the Maharashtra Agadi, Vikas Agadi acts in cohesion and sensibly. West Bengal is one state where BJP is sure to go down. With Mamta Didi now in full control, we expect them to come down to 5 seats from the present 18 which they are holding. We now look at Karnataka. Karnataka will be the same. BJP remains strong there, and with quite polarized society over there, we don't expect any other party to win. Bihar, possibly BJP will come down by a couple of seats. We give some credibility to the RJD. Chhattisgarh, we will leave it at same. They had 9 seats. Probably they will retain or maybe come down marginally, but again the Congress is getting weaker, so we don't expect any major change. Assam, they are very strong in Assam. They might do little better than what they had. From 9 they may go up to 10 or 11 seats. Delhi again is one place where we expect they will come down to by half. So we have given 4 seats to BJP and 3 to AAP in the coming elections. Now Rajasthan, we don't expect BJP to do as well as it did last time. Last time they swept the state. Probably this time they may be down by 10 odd seats. We are giving them 15 seats, primarily because of Sachin Pilot and team still have some chance to make a election out of it. Jharkhand, again they would be down. JMM is strongly in control there. Uttaranchal, they could be little bit down. We have just brought them down by 1 seat to 5 down to 4. Odisha, they will be the same, and Telangana BJP is slated do better. Instead of 4, they might land up getting 6 or 7 seats. In Punjab, they've only had 2 seats. We have given them 1. Tripura will remain the same. HP, Himachal Pradesh, they may come down to half, as the trends have indicated in the by-election. All other states put together, BJP only had 19 MPs out of the 116, and that we have retained as is. So before I show you the result of this exercise, I'll just repeat, we did the same exercise for the state assembly polls, used the same sentiments and the same political situation, and there we found BJP is going to do better and NDA is doing better. But when we look at the MP election, the same methodology, you will be surprised. Here are the results. The BJP, from the current 300 which it won in 2019, they will come down to 264 in 2024. Now this is a surprising result. How can a party do better in the assemblies elections in the next 1 or 2 years, and when it comes to the Lok Sabha, how can it come down? I will try to explain it to you. The reason is that BJP has alliances with very small parties. Now these small parties, such as if you look at the Northeast, they tie up with BJP and share the power, and they contribute in the assemblies. However, these small parties cannot contribute when it comes to the MP election, and that's why it leaves BJP practically on its own with a very few partners. Secondly, if you have observed the list, there is hardly any strong regional party left which is backing the BJP. The Shiv Sena left the alliance, the TDP left the alliance. So currently there is no strong regional party which backs the BJP, and that is what is going to harm them in the 2024 general elections. So what should the opposition do? Well, here is some suggestions, and this is same as what Prashant Kishore was saying a couple of months ago. Now in the general election, every regional party should stick to its home state, and no other party should interfere in that state. It should turn out a 1:1 poll. Like the DMK should fight in Tamil Nadu, Trinamool Congress West Bengal, SP in UP, TRS in Telangana, Left Front in Kerala, MVA in Maharashtra, etc. There should be no vote dilution and no egos and infighting within the opposition. And for Congress, is there any hope? Well, yes, they should stick to states where there is no regional strong party. Those are states like Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan. They can fight it out there, but leave the ambitions of being a national party till they again regain some kind of stature or status. On the other hand, BJP is a very smart party. All these calculations they must have already done, or they are fully aware of it. In fact, they must be having some strategy to beat this. For instance, they might start tying up with bigger parties this time, and someone like YSR Congress is a possibility who will tie up with the BJP. And there is still a lot of things for BJP to worry about, because behind all those wins, their vote share, seat share is going down. So that's all for this episode. I will again meet you sometime next week with some other topic. Till then, namaskar.